What you mentioned that you went direct when you came out of the game warden, you went into undercover doing narcotics, which a lot of officers it takes some time to get into that role. So you were able to get into it quite quickly.
Yes, and see, and unlike a lot of there's different levels of working as a narcotics investigator. There's the guys that are, they're mainly working informants and using informants to get search warrants. The stuff I did was, I had the shitty looking car, I had the look, I went into the bars or I went into the areas, and I did it on my own over my career. Have I worked with informants, but not to the level I think that a lot of narcotics officers do. And I preferred it that way. And I preferred to have, one or just two people know that I existed because I had worked cases during that early period where my narcotics handler was corrupt. He was stealing drugs and he was having sex with informants and later on got put in prison for it. At the time, I didn't know it. And, in one of his cases, he wanted me to go to a location. It was a trailer and they did tattoos occasionally. And I went down and was able to buy from them. And the next day, they ended up killing two people or killing one and shot another one. But the long story of it is, I was dealing with people that had the potential to kill you. And my handler was as corrupt can be. And, I consider myself very lucky then. I had another handler that was, there's different levels of corruption when you get narcotics. A lot of times it's these guys that are hooking up or having sex with informants or people that's gotten in trouble. And, I worked with another guy that used his position for sexual favors. And I had a vehicle that didn't have, we used to have inspection stickers and a county sticker, and that was required on your vehicle. And I can't remember if I had a truck or a car. It didn't have a county sticker, so I knew the sheriff in Northern Virginia where I'd worked up there, and I said, "Hey, can you send me a county sticker because I don't want to ride around without the sticker because blah blah blah." Anyway, this guy raised hell about it. I can't believe you put a sticker on your car, and he's just raising hell about it. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. The reaction I'm getting for this, instead of saying, "Oh, wow, Jeff, that's a cool idea," your story, you're from this other place, and there's your sticker. What I found out later on is he would tell people, if you see the guy with the car without the county sticker on it, he's the narc. And that's why he was upset. And he didn't give a shit about me. He was more interested in hooking up with some female informant. And, that kind of shit can get you killed. I mean, it can get you, you show up and, somebody freaks out and says, "Hey, you don't have a county sticker." And I hear you're the guy or whatever. Some of these people will kill you. I mean,
Mm.
they'll kill you.
Without hesitation either.
Absolutely. I mean, I dealt with people that were convicted murderers. That one case, their name was John and Stella. I can't remember their last name. They literally, I went in and bought drugs from them, and they shot two people the next day. On the street. Sometimes I think the street buys are probably more. People go, well, and I've dealt with cartel, gang, motorcycle gang people, a whole variance of folks. But I think probably the most dangerous is just street buys because you don't know who's feuding and fighting on the street. You don't know what guy is lying about what he's got. And he knows I show up with money. I think probably statistically, those are the worst compared to the more organized people, that I would go in a house or, they had a stable location. The guy on the corner, I think, was probably the most risky. I mean, it's all risky, but I think that's probably the more riskier thing you can do.
Were you ever put into a situation where there was a pucker factor or no shit moment, like, "I gotta get out of here"?
Well, God, yeah. I mean, I got robbed one time. I remember I went to a house one time and they said, Jeff, you got to go in the basement. They got it in the basement. And I go in this basement, and there's like 6 guys. They got a kilo and they're processing it for crack and packaging it. And I'll never forget, they had this big wooden door that was thick, and they had like a two before with a big screw they had put through it so you could slide it, and they slid that across.